dear. So let us continue with the remaining sessions of the day. So we have around 5 more sessions today to go. I will be the one, the first session will be mine. We'll be talking about enterprise strategy management, a solutions-driven approach. So how a system, a solution can help you to execute your strategies. Okay, so let me share my screen. Uh, so let me talk about my presentation first. So let me put in the screen share. Then screen share, share screen. Okay, window. You're able to see it, right? Okay, so welcome to enterprise strategy management, a solution-driven approach. So I will be talking about few things, how the through strategy will help you to execute your strategies. So before that, thanking you, I thank you all participants, the speakers, and then the organizers. So in today's session, what we'll do is it's a brief introduction about me. I'm CEO of Data Labs India Solutions Private Limited. So we are the we designed a solution called True Strategy, which is a comprehensive strategy management solution. My experience goes 30 plus years of experience goes in strategy management, supply chain management, business process, business planning and budgeting, and project management, enterprise performance management. So I work with industries, different industries, agri-food companies, mining, automotive, FMCG, manufacturing, logistics, and government. So I have few certifications to support the experience, the balance scorecard certification, the PMP, CPIM, Six Sigma Black Belt, and Abdul, the ERP certifications. So what we discussed today is we talk about strategy execution as an overview, and then how the system will help you to drive strategy execution. Then we talk about some kind of organizational performance, which includes ESG, OHI, and SFO. We talk about some strategy reviews and actions, what we do it. And then we talk about the overall strategy transformation. So this slide brief you about what we do in the strategy execution, a systems-driven approach. So in this, so let me put my highlighter. So we talk about strategy, just to all frameworks or methodologies, whatever you do, you have some kind of steps. Okay, so we try to make it linear so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so we classify them into 5 phases, which is plan, translate, perform and report, review and act, and transform. So these are the 5 phases. So in this, what we talk about, we do strategy analysis. So the full strategy solution supports all strategy analytical tools, which includes like Pestel, SWOT, Porter's 5 forces analysis, and all other things. We also have like a business model canvas, Hoshin Kanri, and more. And we keep adding new tools here, how the system supports. We do value gap analysis. So where in this value gap analysis, we talk about what you want to achieve next 3 to 5 years. Okay, so what you want to achieve next 3 to 5 years, and how you close the gap. Okay, through either it could be a strategic objectives, or it could be strategic initiatives or measures. So how you close it. Okay, so while doing this, you will have like a strategy indicators. So how these strategy indicators, it could be an external indicators, or it could be any other environmental related indicators, whatever. So how these indicators are progressing, or how indicators are giving results, which is a part of your strategy hypothesis. Okay, so we do scenario planning. So once we have the strategy formulation in place. So we have to do some scenario planning. So you arrive at, you identify uncertainties. Okay, so which are the driving forces. So these, once we have the uncertainties and driving forces, you come up with the strategy indicators. So how this strategy is taking place. So you come up with the different scenarios, like 1, 2, 3 scenarios, which are more likely. What will happen in case your assumptions are not working or your hypothesis is not working. So at any given time, one scenario will be active. So if this scenario is active, so what is the actions you need to take to execute your strategy? That's how it is. Okay. And true strategy is also aligned to the best practices like zone to win, play to win, and other blue ocean strategies. So it's a basically true strategy is a platform agnostic solution where we talk about you take any methodology, it's a truly a strategy transformation solution. So once we have a strategy plan in place, okay, so you need to translate strategy into actionable terms. So how do you translate? Balance scorecard is one of the methodology which is we popularly use to translate strategy into execution. And recently, organizations use, especially what to do. So they can also use OKRs as a platform methodology to translate strategy and execute it. Okay. So people needs to be aligned, because you have an organization strategy, and then you talk about these terms to the employees. That is not enough. So you need to convert that into what is the people day-to-day activities and what is their KPIs and their targets. So you need to have this in place. Okay. So alignment of the organization. Okay. Alignment of the organization. So it could be if you are a multi-business unit organization with multiple shared services. So you need to align corporate unit to the business unit, and then business unit to business unit, and business unit to the shared services. All those alignments have to be done. Otherwise, the organization will not work as a systematic way. So you need to have a project management office and risk and compliance, the budgeting. So you finally, what happens is whatever you do, you need budgets. So the budgeting has to be done. Okay, budgeting includes operational budgeting, capex budgeting, and also the statics. So these three together, if you do it to quantify what is your budget needs, then finally you will arrive at financial statements, which are projected financial statements. That is very important. That's all about the outcome of your business planning and budgeting, especially for a yearly cycle. So once we have that, what will happen is you need to execute them. So this is like a perform and report. So you have to perform all your strategic initiatives and your objectives. You need to do day-to-day operations, your operations and your projects. So you need to report them, strategic objectives, the project management performance, the performance reporting of everything in the organization. So while doing it, you can also do a business process performance. This is also one of the important, I forgot to add it here. Business process excellence. See, you need to have a strategy. Organization will run through a set of processes. So you need to link this strategy to the business processes. So how this business process is particularly performing will directly have a direct effect on your strategy execution. So if you have meetings, you need to have meetings to review the strategy, especially a monthly, and some organizations do it quarterly, but we don't recommend that. So you need to have a monthly review process where we talk about the strategy, performance of each strategic objectives, measures, initiatives, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here what we'll do is, it's not enough just to know the performance. You need to, what will happen is, the outcome of this is actions. So now you have actions in the strategy meeting. So these actions needs to be executed. Okay, so usually the key problem is you have strategy actions, but you send emails or something and then you forget. Then when it comes to next month the review meeting, at that time only people will see it. Not all, some actions will be delayed or not done properly. So these things can be covered automatically through strategy by sending reminders kind of thing, and then reporting status once it is completed. Okay. Then transformation. Transformation happens once you do all these things properly. So in the organizational transformation, so we have some tools here called ESG assessment. So environmental, social, and governance assessment. So based on your industry best practices, you can conduct a questionnaire, and then so you can share with all stakeholders to perform the assessment. Then consolidated assessment will be displayed here, will be calculated and circulated to the leadership to take decisions. And then if there is any gap in that assessment, you can close them through particular initiatives, whatever required. Similarly, we have a strategy focused organization assessment, which is like recommended by Dr. Kaplan and Norton. So in their fantastic book, Strategy Focused Organization, they have recommended 5 themes. So based on that, you can do an assessment. Okay. So the third one is organizational health index. This is where you talk about, you do the assessment for your organizational health. This is a custom developed assessment tool for you. You will get as part of the full strategy. So whatever framework you want to use for organizational health, you can do it. That includes even organizational culture, or any other support type of or the OHI assessments you want to do it, customized to your needs, you can do it. And all other things, you can have a balanced scorecard level performance, initiative performance, program and portfolio performance. It's like a consolidated. So you have a consolidated number. So at the organization level, so what is your overall balance scorecard score? So that this one number will tell you how this particular business unit or corporate unit, how it is performing. That's how it is. So likewise, so there are the 5 phases: the plan, translate, perform, review, and transform. So and this is the core part of true strategy. And then so if you want to talk about the key features, so these are the key features, especially the dark colors are like operational. There are a few light color options available. These key features are ongoing, so we keep optimizing it. So one of the most important thing is we do have all strategic analysis tools here. So completely available to the scenario planning, the integration of Power BI to get the dashboards where you see you can get the board presentations automatically in a predefined formats. You have integration with ERPs, especially SAP S/4HANA. So if you have SAP S/4HANA integration, we integrate directly a project performance. We talk about KPI performance, the people performance, and also some kind of budgeting, the budget performance also. So all these things will be automatically loaded into the system. You don't have to re-enter into anything into the system. And we also have like industry KPIs. So industry KPIs and strategic alignment. So these are all like a key features. I would like to take you a walk through the system. Okay. So before that, this 1 or 2 slides. The true strategy is built basically execution premium, which is balanced scorecard as a foundation, and then you have the modules or verticals. We can strategy analysis, balanced scorecard, OKR, the PMO, people, risk, compliance. We are also adding internal audit as a part of the solution. So budgeting and financial analysis, ESG and OHI assessments. So all these things together will come into the performance reporting, strategy reviews and analysis, organizational performance, alignment, and sustainability. Now, all these things lead to sustainable strategy execution. Okay, so the solution encompasses, it's like a methodology agnostic solution. So we have a balanced scorecard methodology. We can talk about OKR methodology. We talk about Hoshin country. You choose any one of it, the system is compatible. Okay. Now, when you talk about Office of Strategy Management, so the full strategy supports Office of Strategy Management in all possible ways to do their processes seamlessly. So now here, if you see it, so roles of Office of Strategy Management, it could be an architect, or it could be process owner, or it could be integrator. So all processes of OSM right from scorecard management to organizational alignment, strategy reviews, strategy planning, facilitating strategy planning process. And of course, the most important is strategy communication. Okay, initiative management, planning and budgeting, workforce alignment, and best practices sharing. Now, this is all things will be part of true strategy execution. Okay, I'll just stop here and then share the screen of my system. Okay, so just uh, I'll take you to demo. Okay, so just let me share my screen now again. So I'll just take you through. Give me just let me take my some water. So let me share my screen where I talk about do a quick product demo. So let me do that. Where is that? I think I kept it open. Okay, so let me try now. So let me share my screen. Screen share. Okay, I'll just share the window. Yeah, I'll just find it. If you are able to see the screen, okay. So this is through strategy. Okay, it's a home page. Okay, so here we talk about modules like strategy analysis, balance scorecard, initiatives, reviews, enterprise PMO, people performance, risk, compliances, organizational performance, alignment, the budgeting, performance, dashboards, OKRs, business processes, and finally we added integrations. Okay. Now I'll just take you through one step back. So when you talk about strategy management, it's usually we talk about strategy maps. Okay. So before that, I would like to quickly talk about how this analysis how it is the setup is done. In the strategy analysis, if you do it, okay, so you have organization structure, you designed it. Okay, so you have an organization structure where we define a mission, vision, and values for each organization. So this is the starting point of any strategy analysis, strategy management. So in the analysis, we have plenty of modules available. Let me share it is okay. So there are plenty of modules like SWOT analysis, PESTEL, voters, five forces. Okay, there are plenty, almost all. Okay, whatever framework you want to use it or analytical analysis tool you want to use it is available. For example, if we are doing a SWOT analysis, okay, so primarily if you want to see, so you can have a SWOT, you can conduct SWOT analysis. Okay, so or you can conduct status SWOT analysis through system, and if you want to know more about details also, you can see all the details. So whether it could be related to the competitor or it could be related to a product, you can see it here. And if you want to see the dashboards also, just click the link here, you will see the dashboards. Likewise, all the analytical tools are there, even if you have like a machine country. So if you are following for, if you are doing it, so if you have, if you are using, very rarely people use nowadays, people are using balance scorecard and OKRs. But if you are using it, yes. So this methodology, the solution will help you to do the Hoshin Kanri also. So business model canvas, you can have a nice business model available for you. Okay. So you can define all your business model canvas, whether it could be a customer segment, all your 9 steps, what you want to do through business model canvas can be done. So this is a brief about strategy analysis. The outcome of this is, so we keep adding it here. So in the more analytical tools, whatever you want it. Okay. So in the value gap analysis, you have strategic projections. It could be a quantity and revenues. So you can have your next 3 to 5 years, what you want to go achieve. Okay. Then what is your gap, and then how you close it. So this is where you are connecting strategy planning to the strategy execution. Okay. So this is a top-down and bottom-up process you are linking. So this is very important, because if you don't link them, what happens is strategy planning will be a separate island, strategy formulation is a separate island, and strategy execution is a separate island. It is always a problem. So we in the through strategy by design has embedded the strategy planning and strategy execution linking through value gap analysis, and we can do the scenario planning. Okay, so you create different scenarios. So in the scenario planning, basically what you do is you do driving forces. You have your driving forces, which includes driving forces and uncertainties. Okay, so you create them all, and then you have indicators, because you need to know the indicators how these things are going forward. Like for example, if you are talking about economic environmental things, so what is happening with the environmental changes, what is happening recently? Okay, we experience a very severe heat wave in India at the moment. Okay, so what is happening? What is this happening? Especially when you talk about food sector, your crops get damaged, and you have a rising prices in food and feed sectors. So likewise, you can have a scenario planning. You can create multiple scenarios. Okay, so you have a scenario story. So in the first session, we were talking about we are talking about scenario story. That means in every strategy review meetings, you need to know what scenario is active and what is going on with that scenario on month-on-month basis, so that you know always that what kind of uncertainties and driving forces are active in the industry, and then you take appropriate action. Otherwise, it will be too late for you to recover your difficulties. Okay, so likewise, you have a very robust scenario planning methodology. The system you can do that scenario planning. Now let us come to the key, which is the balance scorecard. So you define balance scorecard. So you define balance scorecard. You define perspectives. You can define perspectives. Earlier we were calling that financial, customer, internal, and learning. Now we talk about instead of financial, they talk about outcomes. Instead of customer, they talk about stakeholders. So whatever you choose, you can do it. So likewise, you can define. I'll just go to strategic objectives. So you define strategic objectives by theme. Okay, so you can you can have all strategy define all the strategic objectives. Then you have measures. This is the reason I'm showing you this. It's very important, by the way. So having a measure dictionary is one of the core area where we talk about everything. For example, okay, so this is a measure dictionary. So any measure, so any kind of the true strategy supports any all possible ways to calculate your performance. So there are 7 type of KPIs, measures types you can define. All of them are configurable, and then you can also have an integration from where the data comes into fill. If it is easy to manual, is it a portal, or is it an SAP or Oracle, whatever you do it, it's available. The reason why we talk about it is this is like a structure of the basic structure of the solution. Okay, then you have strategic initiatives. You create initiative masters. Okay, so initiative in the initiative masters, we talk about define all type of masters related to strategic initiative. It could be the phases, it could be criteria, project types, benefits realization, and lessons learned. So when you define a master for your initiative, it is like some sort of project charter, basically. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. How does it look like? So it's basically you define all your strategic initiative, right from what is the planned budget, what is the actual budget, what are the risks involved in the project. So who is the owner and project manager for this? Okay, start date, planned start date, end date, and also you can have how this is values gap is closed for this particular strategic objective or goal. Okay, so on this strategic initiative will have activities, milestones, and milestones. Okay, so this is something which we all do. So one project has an activity which has a start and end, and then milestone is an outcome. Okay, and each milestone can be connected with the deliverables so that we can measure performance. These milestones basically will be linked to your work background structure. Okay, so there is an initiative grid. So this is something very simple. Okay, very simple way to talk about your strategic objectives in the top. then sorry, strategic objectives in the column, and then you have projects. So how these are aligned? If any strategic initiative, if any initiative is not aligned to any particular strategic objective, that means this initiative needs to be questioned. Okay, so maybe you need to, maybe it's a wish list for one of the senior manager who want to do it, but it is not really adding value to the organization by not aligning to the any objectives. Okay, so likewise, so all these things you can do it. So next it comes to strategy reviews. So we talk about strategy reviews, how this KPI data is collected, and it's very fantastic way to collect the data and uh, perform. Okay, so you have, sorry. So this measured data, I'm showing the engine part of it. I know you will be more interested in looking the dashboards kind of thing. You will get it. Okay. So it's a robust way to report measure performance. And these measure will be end user will directly get an email. He can get a link. He can open it and enter the data and save it. You don't have to log in into the system. If you log in, you can have a more information where you talk about. You can write strategy analysis and recommended actions for that particular measure. Okay, so you can have a theme story, objective story. So objective story is basically what? Objective story is basically, so this is where you what you do basically, you have to write a story for the particular objective. So this objective will have a owner, and this owner is responsible to make sure that this objective is achieved. Now, on a month-on-month basis, so what is the performance of this objective? He can write analysis. Okay, so he can also write the recommended actions. The senior managers can do that. So all connected information like measures, initiatives, risks can be seen in the same screen. You don't have to, all things will come automatically. So you have a value gap analysis. You can also do supporting document attachments. So likewise. So here, so I will just tell you here, there are some email option. I will talk about it. So in a while. So in the initiative story, when you talk about initiative story, so this is again the project manager he will talk about the initiative story reporting on month-on-month basis. So you have one project manager, once he has a progress update, so he will do that. The complete project performance can be viewed here, like, so he can have a view on the, so for a particular project, he can write why this is particular project is going slow or fast. So what could we do to keep this project into a track? Okay, likewise. So this is initiative details. What are the actual budgets and what is the planned budget and the actual expenditure? This actual expenditure will come from ERP or any other accounting system. It will come automatically here. Okay, through the integrations. So here there are plenty of features available. So the milestones. So these milestones you need to update. What are the milestones you have achieved and activities and milestones completed? So you can have a look at your Gantt chart. Okay, so you can have a week-wise, month-wise, or day-wise to monitor. This is very important tool. Gantt chart is one of the most important tool for any project manager. It shows you what is the overall progress of the things. And if you have activity, and then you need to break out into tasks and assign to the people, and you want to manage the entire process through the tool, yes, it is possible. So you can do that. And also the supporting documents can be updated month-on-month basis. So this is the story. Okay. Now I'll talk about the communication. What is the communication means? So any screen you have icon, you find like this. From this screen, if you want to just send a message to anyone, so you can click on it, so it will go. Okay. So likewise, so you can see the strategy communication. So you can take it up like this. Okay. So I'll just show you one example how this communication work. Okay. So if this is your objective, so I'm just clicking on the strategy communication. A new tab will open. This new tab will help you to know the strategist view. Okay, so you get strategy communication. See here you see meeting actions. So you can name it. You can give some name. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so once you have this in place, so you can just save it. Okay, so you can just select what kind of, okay, select who is the owner. Okay, and then you just save it. So you can just save it here, and then the system will create automatically some kind of actions here, and this email will go to a particular sorry. So this email will go to a particular, sorry. So I need to have some mandatory fields here. So because this is very important for end user to know. You just save it. The system will send an email to the user, and also it will record you the list here. So it's a meeting actions. If the moment you select, you will find it here, and then the moment the user update it, it will be updated in the system, and then you can see the updates. Okay, so that's how it is. Now I'll just stop here. I'll take you to one of the performance dashboards where we talk about strategy maps. Okay, the strategy map. Let us do one thing. Let us take one previous one strategy map updates. Okay, so how it is done. So if you see the strategy map, okay, this is a strategy map with 4 themes, 4 perspectives: financial, customer, internal, and enablers. And these are all the objectives. These sizes and colors are all, you can manage them. If you click on it, so you see in the left side, you can see the full performance, objective performance, measure, initiative performance, and risks. You can also see the people connected to it, business process connected to it, and also value gap. Now, the beauty of thing is you double click on this if you want to drill down. Okay, you double click on this here, or you can double click on any one of it. So you will see the full progress. So these are all hyperlinks. So you can open. I'll just, for example, I'll just double click on grow revenues. The next tab will open. So where you will see the objective story for a particular month and year updated. Okay, so you don't have to do anything. So you have a drill down. Now in this screen again, if you want to see a particular initiative or how it is doing, just double click it. So with this kind of approach, you have a drill down capability to know exactly what is happening in the organization. Okay, again here we have a communication thing, so which you can use it to communicate by sending the information. Okay, so I hope it is clear now. So this is one of the strategy map what we talk about. Likewise, you have scorecards, so you can define scorecards for any particular period. Okay, so you can generate balance scorecard. So you can see the overall percentage. You can also see the perspective wise score, weightage, and also each objective wise. If you want to drill down, if there is any particular drill down capabilities, you can have it. So you can know. Likewise, there are plenty of the progress dashboards what we have. Okay, so if you want to look at any initiative dashboard for a particular thing, so you can have it. Okay, so particular initiative progress can be seen. So what is your target and how your cumulative expenditure is going on. So likewise, you can see the access to all your progress. You choose any of the objectives, you can find out how these things are going forward. Okay, so likewise, there are plenty of progress dashboards available. Okay, so you can see it. So there are plenty of dashboards and reports available. Okay, now I'll just take you one step back. I'll just go to home page. Okay, so what we discussed now is we talk about strategy analysis, balance scorecard, initiative reports and reviews, and corresponding dashboards. So here we talk about something related to the enterprise PMO. Okay, so in the enterprise PMO, we have like portfolios, programs, and then corresponding change management. So completely you can define your portfolios, and then so you can manage the whole portfolios and programs to the system. Okay. So that's exactly the project management office do. So you can also, if there is any change requests within the project to change the budgets kind of thing, you can do that directly, and then this will save you. It will go to an approval authority, and then once they approve this change, like for example, a project budget, planned budget, you have changed. Okay, so you can get that approved. At the same time, so if you are closing a project, you are completing, you are reporting it. That also can be done through project closures. So the moment you close the project, the initiative is closed, the lessons learned and benefits realized will be reported. So then it will be reported as an history. So that will be how this initiative is adding value to the strategy. I mean, it's like a strategy value gap. Is it closing or not? You can know it. So now I'll just talk about the people performance. Now, by the way, here you see all these modules: projects, people performance, risk and compliance, and everything. And all these things are interlinked to each other. Now, when you talk about people performance, now we have the people performance will be measured in three steps. One is individual performance, the second is the team performance, the third is the 360-degree. Now, with these three in place, it is not necessary that you do 360-degree review for every employee. It's not like that. You don't need it. So it's based on the need of the organization. So you can create a weightages for individuals, teams, and 360, and then you can do a performance of the people performance very quickly. So in the individual performance, so you create some master data like teams, employee masters, and this can be imported from your ERP. And the people objective, so you need to create personal objectives. You need to create personal measures and then link them. Okay, so when you are creating objectives, personal objectives, okay, for example, you need to link to a strategic objective. So this is the top-down and bottom-up approach for people performance. Usually what happens is when you are giving a people performance, if they don't link it to the strategy, what happens is it will be like a standalone performance measures. So then we are not sure whether this is really helping to execute strategy or not. So to avoid that, the Fruit strategy help you to link the strategic objective to the people performance, the people objective, and then it will help you to review in the strategy map as you have seen earlier. Okay, so similarly, you can define measures and everything, and then the team performance, the same. You define teams, so you define team measures, you define the team objectives. Okay, and then team performance data, again, same thing. It's a month-on-month basis. You can have whatever periods you have it. So you have it. So you can see how this organization is doing. So you can update the data, and then you can get the team performance. 360 degrees is one of the very popular concept nowadays in people performance. In 360-degree review, you define the structure first. So you define the employee, who is reporting manager, who is his subordinate, and who are their peers. Now, in this setup, the HR manager, once in a month, they send a notification. Then email will go to all stakeholders with a link. Now, this link they will use it to give the feedback for a particular person. So you may receive multiple emails if you are giving a feedback for multiple employees. Okay, so you do that. So when you do it, the feedback, you don't have to be a user in the system. It will be like just a hyperlink. It will open in the browser. So you update the status, which is like the questions will be around this, like how is his teamwork, how is his adaptability to change, blah blah blah. And these questions are user defined, so you can define. So once you have them, then you conduct. This is very easy to do it in the system. Without system, it's not possible to do it. Okay, so once we do that, so there could be a performance. So you have, for example, you can choose any department or any period. Okay, so you generate. So you see this particular employee has the team performance, the individual performance, and also 360. So you can see the overall weighted average. You see the 63%. Okay, so you can see the full details of this particular person. Okay, likewise, and then in the people performance, it is not enough for you only to see the current performance. You need to also see what is the capability of this person, the potential. So 9-box model will help you to identify, uh, for example, I'm not sure where is the data, but anyway, I'll try. I'll try to generate. Okay, so for example, you have some data. So if you select particular employee, how does that fit into this? Like individual performance and what is his potential? So based on that, you can have a strategy for individual employee or whoever. Okay. So likewise, so you can define for each employee where does he fits and how does he perform. Likewise, so based on that, this will help you to know what is your plans for him particularly. Okay. Now, finally, what is in people performance is the competency management. So, this is a dream for every HR manager to do a competency-based HR. So, True Strategy supports the competency-based HR in alignment with the strategy. So, you can create competency groups. So, you can create competencies. Okay, different competencies you can create. Okay, so you have roles. So you can create different roles in the organization based on your competencies. Of course, here you will be linking your competencies basically to the roles required. Then you create training programs also. So it's a repository of training programs. How you want to connect, use these training programs to fill the gaps of these competencies. Now, this competency chart is very interesting thing if we are able to see it. Okay, so you can see, so what is the actual, what is your target competency and what is the actual for this particular for competency group. Okay, and then for then how can this be closed? Okay, for that particular competencies can be closed. It's based on the roles basically. Okay, so for this particular roles, and then every manager will have his own linking. Okay, so every manager will have his own competency gaps. Okay, so likewise, the current competency and required competency, how to close that gap through either it could be a training program or orientations, and all the things can be monitored through strategy seamlessly. So you can schedule batches and do the training. That part of the process also can be managed through the system. Okay. Now I'll just take you to the enterprise risk and compliances, these two modules very quickly. So you can define organizational risks. Okay. So this is comprehensive enough for organizations to do enterprise risk management. You define different type of all strategy, operational and tactical risks. So you give them score particularly. Okay. So what is likelihood and consequences of this? So you can define them. So how this list of risks will be managed, who is the owner of that, and on a month-on-month basis, for example, if you are talking about, okay, on month-on-month basis, how you update your risk. Okay, so the risk owner, you need to update about the action plan of the key risk indicators, KRIs we call it. Okay, so you define key risk indicators as part of the risk definition, and then you update them as a part of it. Okay, so likewise, you define, of course, if you have the data properly, so how does that, here you can see it, I just put this risk. This risk comes under, okay, consequences and likelihood. It's in the red zone. Now we talk about strategy compliances. So we cannot take compliances out of the system. Okay, so we cannot take compliances out of the system. It is required anyways. Okay, so you define all the required competencies, compliances. So compliances activities, you define them. Okay, so you define the compliance activities, and then finally you have a compliance calendar in place. So this compliance calendar will help you to know exactly how this can be managed on a day-to-day. Automatically, the system generates the notifications for individuals. Okay. Now I'll take a pause here. Okay, so I'll just give you a briefing about organizational performance. Now, in the organizational performance, it's one of the most important things. We're talking about the assessment, as I explained to you before. So we have like an ESG assessment. We have an ESG assessment where we define the complete masters, okay, of the evaluation. Okay, so you have complete suite to conduct the ESG assessment. Okay, so you can have an ESG assessment mechanism. The users can run it. Okay, and can give the reporting on a month-on-month basis. Okay, and then all things will be consolidated into ESG dashboard. Okay, so if you run a dashboard, for example, okay, so if you generate, so you will have a dashboard which shows you how this particular ESG assessment is doing, or what is your score, okay, and how you close this gap for the ESG. Okay, so likewise, you have SFO assessment. So you can conduct SFO assessment for a whole thing. So it's based on the balance Kaplan and Norton methodology. So you have 5 assessment criteria. Against each assessment criteria, you can have a questions. So that these questions will be sent to individuals through system, by the way. So through email, and then they can open it and then just update the scores. So when you do the strategy implementation, this SFO score can be conducted once in a quarter. Okay, so you can know how this organization is transforming. Okay, based on that, you can have your assessment scores, how this is completely happening. Okay, for example, if you are running for a particular, okay, so if you generate, so you can get score, you can fill it up, okay, and then the whole score can be consolidated automatically. So likewise, okay, so SFO performance can be done, SFO assessment. I'll show you one dashboard, how does it look like in the performance dashboards. So if you go to SFO dashboard and then generate it, so you have a particular dashboard. Okay, so you have a dashboard for so you can do the dashboard where you can see all performance of your SFO progress, strategy focused organization progress. You can see it. Likewise, you have the dashboard. So this is very quick briefing. We talk about these 3. So if you have a balance scorecard, so if you want to see particular balance scorecard performance, for example, you want to know so how it is done. So you can see this overall score and how this is calculated. You can see the whole calculation behind it. It's basically a consolidation. So you do the measures, weighted average measures to view the objectives, and then objective weighted average consolidated to the perspective. Then you have an overall scorecard from the balance scorecard. Likewise, we can have initiatives, EPMO and portfolios, programs. All these things can be you can have them. For example, let me just show you one. So you can just say all. So you can see the overall score of these programs. Likewise. So that's basically an organizational performance. Now we talk about strategic alignments. This is one of the most important part. Strategy alignment, usually it is take it for granted. Okay, so the corporate unit, and then business units. What are the misalignments? There are different type of alignment categories available, whether it could be identical or contributory or new. So you have an alignment progress. Okay, so you can do corporate unit and SBU unit, corporate and board, SBU to SBU, and finally you can have an alignment progress. So you can do alignment schedule, like so how you want to close the gaps in strategic alignment. So it cannot be closed just like that. So you need to spend time and efforts on that, and it will take some time. So maybe a 6 months to 1 year or maybe more. So you can schedule them and you can close them. Okay. So likewise, so there is a module called budgeting. Now we talk in True Strategy. It's a most comprehensive tool. So this connects all dots what is required in the organization and help you to execute strategy successfully. Okay, so in budgeting, you can create all masters. Okay, so you have your capital expenditures. Okay, so in capital expenditures, you can look at whatever. So you can define all the required capital expenditure concepts. So in this, you can also have your analysis. So capital expenditure, and you can have like NPV, IRR. So all the more tools you want to do is you can use it. So this is like a most comprehensive, like a capital expenditure model. You can define all capex items. Then also you can have a schedules. So what is your payment schedules? Like what is your plan and what is your planned payment schedules and what is your actuals against each capex item? Then you can have a capex dashboards. So likewise, you can have a capex reports and dashboards. Operational expenditure. So you can have operational expenditure. So this is one of the most important part, where one of the most important complication in the budgeting is how to collect the budgets. What are the sheets to be given for the individual departments or cost centers or profit centers? Now all these things are integrated into the system to do it automatically. Okay, for example, here you have something very simple. Okay, so so what you do basically, what system does basically is you create sheets. Okay, so these sheets will be automatically you create it different combinations, and then you send them through messages, so they can log in into the system or they can open their email and just put their number. If there is any breakup for the value, so you can have a support schedule, so the calculations also can be done. All these things will be consolidated into operational reporting. So in the operational reporting, for example, if you choose any one of it, so you generate report. So the system will consolidate all the things, all the data collected for against all cost centers or departments, whatever you do, and then it will give you the overall total. Okay, so now here you see it like HR expenses, IT expenses. Okay, so any internal audit expenses, so you can see the total. Okay, likewise. So in this, it's very important to know for each department, you can have a group of accounts to see in the screen. Okay, so here there are set of groups. So if there are different type of groups, you can see, and if you want to see everything, all sort of accounts, so we can see it here in one list. You can see it. So you can export it Excel and also do import for this. Okay, so you can do all sort of budgeting process in this. So there is something called statics. Okay, so it will consolidate all from your capital and operational expenditure based on the identification of whether it is a capex item or a statics item. So you can know. And then you have some kind of financial statements, which will be consolidated financial statements, which is part of the budgeting process. So I think this is a very quick view of budgeting. Okay, and OKR, I don't want to miss maybe a few minutes on OKR. If you are not using a balance scorecard or if you are using OKR, so this is a complete module standalone for managing your OKRs. Okay, so you define OKRs as an organization code, as a code, as a OKR code. So you can define your organizational goals. Then you can create your objectives. These objectives are completely different from your balance scorecard objectives. Okay, so you can define the key results. What is your expected key results? Okay, and then each key results will have its to close the gap for the key results. So you can have initiatives. So same way where what we talk about in the balance scorecard. So you have strategic initiatives where you can use them to achieve your strategy, your OKR objectives. Then it will have milestones, and then yeah. So in a month-on-month basis, you can have a key activity story drafted. For example, I don't know which data is here, but I'll try. Okay. So likewise, so you can have the data. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. So you can have some data available. So key activity story, then your objective story, your initiative story, and then finally you have OKR reports. So complete OKR management will be done through the system. Okay. So I don't want to miss something called business process. So in the business processes, you can define all the business processes in the system. Okay, so you can define business process, KPIs for the business process, and then methodology against. See, business processes will have maturity. So if you have like a 9 to 10 business processes in the organization at the high level, not all processes have the same maturity. So you based on the maturity, based on the type of requirement to optimize your business process, what you do is you choose appropriate methodology for optimization. It could be a Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma. It could be a classical ERP optimization. It could be your business process reengineering. So you choose any tool to use it, okay, and then you link them for a particular business process, and then you manage them. So on month basis, you report how this business process maturity is going on and how this business process story is going on, and then you can have reports. I'll just show you one business process matrix where I usually talk about. Okay, so you have something like this. So you have the business processes in y-axis, and then you in x-axis, and then you have all your the strategic objectives. Okay, how this each business process versus strategic objective is mapped. You can have the importance of it. Then finally, you have a business process performance overall score. How this is done. Okay. So likewise, so this is about the business process. I have very few minutes left, so I'll just talk about very quickly about industry KPIs. The system supports the industry KPIs. Uh, Industry KPIs. So you can have all the industry KPIs listed here. So you can choose any industry, the type of organization, and then industry KPIs will be available for you. You choose it, so you can select it. So if you particular industry, this is like AI driven industry KPIs list. So if you want to know more information about this particular initiative, so you can add as much as information. This is you can get, for example, if you're talking about animal feed industry, in the production, one of the KPIs is raw material cost percentage. So the polarity is low. All this information will be given to you as part of the process. Okay. So likewise, and there are multiple scenarios. There are the Power BI dashboards, very fantastic dashboards. So you can get them for everything. And Power BI desktop version, it's a free. So you plug and play. All these will be connected to your dashboards. You can define them very easily. Existing dashboards and new dashboards can be done. Likewise, I think these are the very quick session from myself, and it's all the solution can be hosted. Primarily, we host it in the cloud as a separate instance for individuals. In case any government-related organization, if they want to host it in on-premise, yes, it is possible to do it and give a dedicated installation for them. Okay, it's a customizable solution. You can do some customizations if it is required, and there are plenty of dashboards, reports available. And what I did not cover is we are generating a AI model. It will be here, a new model here. So to do a strategic analysis, a consolidation, and give insights based on your market research and all. So that this tool will be live very soon. I think this is a question. I would like to uh, stop screen sharing. If any questions, I will take it up. Okay, and then let me take up any questions, and if there is any questions available, we'll take it up. Exactly. So now, just to take up the questions, now one question what I get is why the comprehensive strategy management solution is required. This is one very important question. Now you see it here. If you have multiple systems in place, what happens is, so you have to come again. The IT infrastructure become again another headache, and we sincerely recommend you to take a platform methodology agnostic solution, so that you can take them, you can upgrade very easily and adopt. You changing strategies from your side, you can adopt them very easily. Okay, and then the most important thing is your monthly reporting process should be seamless. Okay, the system should be able to send emails, messages to them very easily. You should be able to collect them and then consolidate it, report it very easily. This is a pain. Okay, now in Excel files and all, you this can be done in Excel files also, but the problem is, okay, so there is a always people don't agree on accuracy of the data. So the measures, what usually, there will be a debate whether this measure is reported correctly or not. So all these the things, can be avoided through a robust system like Flow Strategy. Okay, so Flow Strategy is by far one of the most comprehensive tool in the market at the moment. Okay, so and we are very proud of it, and we keep adding more facilities, so that based on our learnings from our clients, more facilities, so that the clients can execute their strategies successfully, and all. So here one more question is about how can we do the business process linking to the strategy. So this is almost always, in my experience, what happens is this strategy team is little different and the operational excellence team is different. So I had a luxury to work in both. I led the team both for strategy and both for operational excellence. So now it is actually it's very easy to link both operational excellence and strategy excellence teams. All you need to do is you need to identify high-level processes, and then you need to identify the strategic objectives, link them. Okay, so once you make the matrix, to identify the process maturity, then you identify the gaps, and then this matrix will help you basically to give the priority. So the moment you give the priority, what happens is you focus. If it is a less priority, no problem. You can just do it later. And the ease of doing the measure of success. Okay, how easily you can complete this. So all these things, you can do that as part of the process. I think with this, I'll conclude my presentation. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you, participants. Thank you, organizers. Okay, so this program will continue. Next, we have another 4 sessions today. So please stay tuned. Please and try to ask questions, post questions if there is something. So we'll take it up. And also we have a session tomorrow. Don't forget to stay tuned for tomorrow's program also. So thank you very much. With this, I'll take a break and I'll introduce the new speaker.